Hello and welcome to the I Can Do program. I'm Dr. Salinas. We've created this program to help those of you out there who have a disability, injured, or maybe just need a little bit of exercise and help recapturing the quality of life that you once had. We're going to be using the cane as an exercise tool and a martial arts weapon. We're going to change it so that it is no longer seen as a crutch, but an empowering tool to help you have the quality of life you deserve. Welcome to the first episode of I Can Do. Today we're going to focus on the topic of acceptance as we do the workout throughout the program. Keep in mind, before you begin any workout program, always consult your doctor first. Now that being said, let's get started on learning how to use the cane as an exercise tool and a self-defense weapon. There are going to be times where we do techniques or stretches that require both our hands to be empty. At those times, what we're going to do is we're going to hook the cane either in our pocket, our belt, or our waistband. And then we're going to go through and do the techniques. Okay? Now the reason why we want to learn how to do this and get comfortable doing this is because I could be getting into my car or carrying something and need my hands free, but if something happens, still be able to quickly access my cane and not run the risk of knocking it down and having to fumble on the ground for it. So when we do these empty-handed techniques, put your cane either in the hook in the pocket or your belt. Now the first exercise we're going to do is going to warm up our wrists with what's called in yoga the prayer pose. Put your hands together and just gently bring them down so you're applying pressure. This stretches out the wrist and warms it up. And just focus on breathing and relaxing as you do the stretch. And now what we're going to do is we're going to flip the hands over into a reverse prayer pose and then draw them up. This intensifies the stretch on the forearms, the muscles, the ligaments, and the tendons so that we run less risk of injuring ourselves and giving ourselves carpal tunnel or tendinitis during the exercise program. And always remember to focus on nice, relaxed, deep breaths. And then gently release, shake it out. Good job. Now we're going to continue warming up our wrists with single-handed cane rotations. Grab your cane in the center, support your arm on the forearm, and then just turn the hand palm up, palm down, palm up, palm down. Now we're not doing this fast, we're doing this gentle. Okay? Now we're going to move the hand back behind the elbow. We're going to allow these three fingers to relax. We're going to maintain control of the cane through making a ring with our index finger and our thumb. The cane can slide, but it will not fall out. Okay? And from here, we're now going to go full range of motion, bringing our hand back to our shoulder, allowing the elbow to pivot, and letting the cane gently go as far as it naturally will. Focusing on your breath. Nice, relaxed breath. And now we're going to change hands and go back to palm up, palm down. Palm up, palm down. Take nice, slow, relaxed breaths. Breathe in, breathe out. And now moving the hand back behind the elbow, going further, but again, not full range of motion. Creating the ring with the index finger and the thumb, allowing the muscles and the tendons to get properly stretched. And then we're going to finish off with moving our hand back to the shoulder and going full range of motion. Remember, allow the elbow to move. Full range of motion. And this is the single hand cane rotation. And then gently relax and shake it out. This next exercise is going to be side bends. We're going to stretch our core. Grab the cane on both ends, Lift it up above your head, put your feet about shoulders width apart, and then just lean to the side, stretching out, stretching the core, the obliques, arms straight. Now gently go over to the other side. And then gently come on up. Shake out the arms. Now we're moving on to the twist. We're going to take the cane in both hands, and we're just going to rotate our hips, letting the arms just swing nice and relaxed. Now you're going to want to raise your back foot so the heel comes completely up and the hips turning all the way through. You don't want to leave your heel planted on the ground because you're putting too much pressure on the spine, and that's going to cause injury. So allow it to twist all the way through, just warming up the core. Very good. Now go ahead and shake it out. Next exercise we're going to do is the hamstring stretch. Now before we start, I want to point out, I'm going to be showing you different stages to this exercise. Stay at the stage that is the most comfortable for you, that still gives you a good stretch. We're not here trying to push past what our body is telling us are our limits. We gently, incrementally go past them. So what we're going to do is we're going to place the cane on the ground in front of us. Our hands are on the crook of the cane. We're going to bend forward. Our feet are together. Our legs are straight. We're going to put our forehead onto our hands. Now while I do this, I'm going to be looking at you. You're going to want to have your head on your cane. Alright, so we just bend forward, make sure that the legs are straight, pull the pelvis up, and from here just start focusing on taking relaxing breaths. Now the next stage, when you're ready, is you push the hands forward, turning this into a modified downward dog, a yoga stretch that helps to stretch the back while at the same time stretching the hamstrings. From here, pull the cane back in, put your hands in the center of the cane, and bend deeper forward. You're still supporting yourself, your weight, with your hands on the cane and your feet. So your back, while it's getting more of a stretch, is not carrying any real weight at this time. You should not be feeling anything other than a stretch in your back while you do this at this stage. Now the third and final stage is going to be letting your hands hang. Here you may feel a little more in your back, but if it's warmed up properly, it should not hurt. If you do feel pain in your back, go back to an earlier stage. Now to come up, put the cane back on the ground, put your hands on the crook of the cane, bend your knees, pull the cane underneath you, use your arms and your legs to push yourself up so that your back is not engaged in coming up. That's the hamstring stretch. We're now going to move into the hip flexor stretch. What we're going to do is we're going to put the cane beside our feet, step back our lead leg. We're going to support ourselves between these 3 points. I'm going to bend my knee, bring my heel off the ground, push my hip forward. And just focus on breathing. Now we're going to come up, transition. We're going to change hands, change legs. Step back again. Remember, the heel's up, the hips are rocked forward, the knees are bent. And just nice, slow, relaxing breaths. Great. Now, bring your feet together. That's the hip flexor stretch. Now we're going to do the calf stretch, the lower part of our leg. So we're going to put the cane by our feet. We're going to step back, but this time we're going to keep our heel to the ground. If you find that this isn't much of a stretch, then go ahead and step a little further forward. Make sure to keep the leg straight, calf on the ground. Support yourself between these 3 points, both feet and your cane. Now, we're going to come up. We're going to change hands, change legs, step back, and stretch. Remember, throughout all of the training, what we do with one side, we do with the other. Deep breath, relax. Now, great, come on up. That's the calf stretch. Now moving into strengthening exercises, we're going to start by working on lengthening the cane. You're going to grab your cane at either end, and then you're going to try and pull it apart using your shoulders, your back, and even your chest a little bit, your triceps, everything. Just try and lengthen the cane. And keep your breath relaxed. Keep the pressure going. Now gently release. You never want to release quickly because you can hurt yourself. That's lengthening the cane. Now we're going to work on isolating the shoulders. We're going to start with using our cane, grabbing it in the center of the shaft, and doing forward raises just by raising your arm up above your head and down to your hip. Up and down. Try and go as full range of motion as you can. However, if you do have any limitations that prevent you from going this high, then just go as high as you can, and that's all. And then work incrementally. Now, you're going to take it and come up to the side, the same way. Deep breaths in. Slow breath out. Now we're going to turn and do it to the back. Okay, now we're going to change sides. So up. To the side. And now to the behind. Those are your shoulder raisers. We're now moving on to exercises that will utilize the iso band. For this first one, we're going to tie a knot in the end of our iso band to make it so we have appropriate tension. Now, put it behind your back. Take your cane, slide it through both handles, bring it up underneath your arms. And what we're going to do is we're going to start pushing forward. If you find that this isn't enough resistance, then what you're going to want to do is change the knot so that it's even closer in. Okay? Now, go ahead and gently release. That was the iso band bench press. So now, following up after the bench press, we're going to do iso band flies. So we're going to take the hands out and we're just going to bring them together and back. Okay. This is helping to isolate the chest, shoulders. Great. Now just go ahead and relax. For this next exercise, we're going to put the iso band underneath our feet. We're going to slide it through the handle. We're going to grab it on both sides, and then we're just going to curl up. These are iso band curls. Focus on breathing, nice, deep and relaxed. You can go fast if you want, or slow. They both have their benefits. All right, just release them down, shake it out, and relax. This next exercise is for the back of the arms. It's called the iso band kickbacks. Place the iso band underneath the foot, bend the elbow, and just push your hand back. This works the back of your arms, the triceps. Focus on your breathing. Now, we're going to release. We're going to change sides with the other foot underneath and kick back. Now, if you find you want more pressure, more tension, then shorten the distance between the foot, the band, the hand and the foot on the band. And you want to be bent over as you do this. And then release and shake it out. Now we're going to work on our balance and hip flexor and leg strength. We're going to step forward into a front stance, not a very deep one, but we're going to put one foot forward. We're going to balance on our cane and our front leg as we bring our knee up, foot out, and back for a front kick. Ready? Let's go. Okay, now we're going to put it down, bring the feet together, change hands, change legs. All right, and go. And bring it down and shake it out. Now we're going to work on leg strength by stepping out into what's called a middle stance. You're going to go beyond shoulder width apart, bend your knees, and almost like you're riding a horse. Keep your cane in front of you, both hands on your cane to help with balance. You want to go as deep as you can, but again, remember, if you have knee issues or hip issues, honor those and only go as deep as they allow. It'll still work your quads, even if you're not super deep. We're just going to sit here, focus on our breathing, becoming aware of our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, and the sensations that are coming up for us. Now gently just kind of rock it out as you come up, shake it out. Now we're going to work on using the cane as a weapon. We're going to grab the cane in what's called the ready position, about an inch down from the crook of the cane. And we're going to go through 6 different strike angles. Strike 1, bring it up and around to the other side. Strike 2, bring it back around. Strike 3, strike 4, and at the head level, strike 5, and strike 6. So foot, foot, hip, hip, head, head. Okay, do it a few more times. Now you may think of this as hitting the knees, hitting the floating ribs, and hitting the head. Okay. What we do with one side, we need to do with the other. So now let's go ahead and switch hands. All right. The reason why we always train both sides equally is because we want to make sure that no matter what hand our cane is in, we are always able to defend ourselves. Additionally, at different points throughout the video, you've seen me with my hand up, my empty hand up by my chest. That's to keep it in a ready position, just in case I have to use it to defend myself. All right? Shake your wrists out. That's the first 6 strike angles. We're now going to work on learning some blocks, ways to protect yourself from getting struck with the cane. The first is a 2-handed down block. We're going to step back and then bring the cane down with both hands on the cane, palm on the cane. The cane comes in front of you and down your body as you step back. This way, you make sure to find the attack as it comes at you. All right. Now what we do with one side, we do with the other. So change hands and do the same thing. We want to get used to the idea of stepping back so that we pull ourselves away from the attack as it comes. All right. This is the 2-handed down block. This block is the 2-handed overhead block. What's going to happen is I'm going to step back, I'm going to bring the cane in front of me and rise up, keeping my fingers from wrapping around. We don't want to wrap around our fingers on any 2-handed blocks because this hand, this hand has a chance to get injured. So we step back and up. Step back and up. We're not pushing all the way up. Arms are still bent. Back and up. Back and up. Now what we do with one hand, we always do with the other. Back and up. Back and up. Imagine something heavy is coming down and you're bracing. That's the kind of force you want to use. The two-handed overhead block. Now we're going to learn to defend ourselves against something being swung at our torso or even coming straight at us. We're going to bring the cane up in a circular fashion, and then with our second hand, push away. And we're stepping away at the same time. So up and push and step away. You want that to be a simultaneous action. Okay? It needs to circle in front of the body and then reinforced with the hand. Now I'll switch to the other side. Also, keep looking at the TV versus really looking at the cane. This is where your opponent is. All right, muscle memory. This is the torso block. This next block is to protect against the attack coming from the side opposite that we have the cane in. All right, it's like the torso block, but we're coming across the body this way. So come across the body, step away, and push. Across the body, step away, and push. Okay? So this hand is there to support. It's a powerful attack. And push. Now the other side. Now your hand could be here. This isn't ideal. It's more ideal for it to be here, but this will still work. Okay? This is working on coordinating hand and leg together. Right, that's called the reverse torso block. This episode is focused on acceptance. Acceptance basically means that you make room for the uncomfortable thoughts or feelings or sensations or emotions that come up for you. It does not mean that you like them or that you want them. It just means that you allow space for them to be in your life. It's sort of like, let's say you throw a party and you invite all your family and friends to this party. And then you're having a blast. You're having the best time of your life. And you're talking with everyone and laughing and having a great time. Then you hear the knock at the door. And you open the door. And there's the person that you least like of all. Maybe an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend or ex-husband or wife. And from there, they push their way into this party. Now you could spend this entire party, from that point on, worrying about their being there and them destroying your fun because they're just mere presences there. Or you can choose. You can choose to look at it as, yes, they're there, but I'm going to go and interact with all these other people that bring joy to my life, bring laughter to my life. You know that this person is there, but they don't have to stop you from having fun at your party. That's basically one way to look at what acceptance is. Now, the party can also be looked at as, well, like the exercises that we're doing. While we're doing the exercises, you may have different feelings and thoughts coming up for you. It could be feelings of relaxation, or it could be feelings of, oh, this is hard, or I'm tired, or I'm too old for this, or this kind of hurts. What you need to do is be aware of those thoughts. Make space for those thoughts. And then just let them be and continue on with moving in the direction that's going to help you have the quality of life that you want and empower you to live how you want to live. Now you're off to a great start. The videos are helping you to train by yourself at home and to learn how to use the cane as an exercise tool and a self-defense weapon. However, this is a journey. And as with all journeys, you're going to want to take it steps further. You're going to want to use training aids like this Wave Master. You're going to want to have partners. And so your goal is to now continue your training at home and find others that you can train with. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for watching the I Cane Do program. And have a great day. I Cane Do!